Let's jump right into today's explainer, Anatomy of a Threat, where we're demystifying the notoriously deadly North Sea. We aren't just talking about some choppy ocean water here. No, we're looking at a space that maritime experts and veteran sailors alike describe as an unpredictable, highly dangerous battlefield. Out here, a single mistake doesn't just mean a bad day at the office, it demands the ultimate price. And that really captures the exact mindset you need when you're talking about the North Sea. It is a battlefield where there is absolutely no room for mistakes. I mean, even the most highly skilled, grizzled veteran sailors are terrified of this volatile expanse, and for good reason, right? Historically, massive ships, vessels fortified with cutting-edge modern engineering, have just completely vanished, without a trace. One minute they're cruising along, navigating the waters, and the next they're just swallowed by the deep, leaving absolutely nothing behind. Which naturally brings us to a simple but honestly terrifying question. Why on earth does this sea swallow massive ships whole? Now, it'd be super easy to just point the finger at bad storms and big waves. But as we dig into the data and the actual accounts from our source material, we're going to see that the answer is way more complex. It's this bizarre, fatal cocktail of geography, extreme weather, and some genuinely terrifying underwater physics. Section 1. Geography of the danger. So let's set the scene. Bordered by Great Britain, Scandinavia, Germany, the Netherlands, Belgium, and France, the North Sea is basically boxed in by land on three sides. But on its northwestern and western edges, it is completely exposed to the brutal, unforgiving forces of the Atlantic and Arctic Oceans. And that brings in some truly extreme temperatures, driven by those freezing Arctic winds. Listen to this. Even in the absolute dead of summer, the water temperature hovers right around 0 degrees Celsius. In the winter, it can violently plummet to -5 degrees. So the takeaway here is grim. If you fall in, it really doesn't matter if you're an Olympic level swimmer. The freezing temperatures are going to claim your life before you even get a chance to paddle to safety. Because the conditions are just so intensely terrifying, this really rich tapestry of folklore has popped up over the centuries. Locals and sailors blaming the sudden disappearances of massive ships on giant mythical sea beasts or dark, angry spirits haunting the decks. But here's the thing. The actual meteorological reality is just as scary as the myths. The real culprits out here are those merciless Arctic winds, massive waves rolling straight in from the open Atlantic, and sudden, blindingly dense fogs that can literally drop your visibility to absolute zero in a matter of minutes. Section 2. The MV Verity tragedy. Let's ground this in a real and frankly chilling case study from February 2023. About 22 kilometers southwest of Helgoland Island, two massive cargo ships collided. According to the official reports, there were roughly 250 people across both vessels. Now, this collision happened in fog so insanely thick, you couldn't see 10 meters in front of your face. But here's the truly eerie part. For hours, nobody on the mainland or even in nearby waters noticed a single thing. That dense fog completely blanketed a massive maritime disaster. It wasn't until hours later, when a single body actually washed ashore on the waves, that authorities realized something catastrophic had even gone down. And despite this massive 3-day search effort by the German Maritime Search and Rescue Service, no other survivors from the sunken UK flagship, the MV Verity, were ever found. They eventually had to just abandon the search. Just to put the sheer scale of this destruction into perspective, look at this number, 1,300. The MV Verity was on its way from Bremen, Germany to Immingham, England, and it was hauling 1,300 cubic meters of diesel. When the ship went down after that collision, every single drop of that fuel was completely lost to the sea. It is just a staggering environmental and human tragedy, and the whole thing was hidden for hours by nothing but fog. Section 3. The shallow water trap. So experts often point to something known as the 100-foot trap. The southern part of the North Sea is incredibly shallow. We're talking an average depth of only 100 feet for a massive commercial shipping route that is shockingly shallow. And when a storm hits, this shallow floor basically acts as a direct catalyst for disaster, creating an incredibly unique physical trap for ships. Let's break down the terrifying physics of how this actually happens. Step 1, a storm whips up these massive waves that rise all the way from that shallow 100-foot floor, and as they do, they dredge up the seabed. Step 2, these monstrous waves violently crash over the ship, hurling freezing water and heavy, wet sand right onto the deck. Step 3, while the water naturally drains away from the ship's scuppers, that incredibly heavy sand gets left behind. Step 4, this cycle just repeats over and over during a storm, and the sand builds up. The immense accumulated weight of incredibly heavy vessels straight to the bottom of the sea. It's a slow, agonizing, mechanical defeat. And wow, the sand trap is just one piece of the puzzle here. Because the water is so shallow, sailors also have to fight multi-directional rapid currents that can shift in an absolute instant. Trying to steer a massive cargo ship in that, it's virtually impossible. On top of that, that exact same shallow depth creates brutal, sudden upward water pressure. This pressure can strike the bottom of a vessel with such intense, concentrated force that it has literally been known to snap a ship's hull completely in half. No way around it, that is absolutely terrifying. Section 4. The Hubris of Man. Now, our source material recounts this wildly dramatic story of a Dutch beam trawler crew. They were out at night when this massive wave just violently smashed into their ship, actually breaking one of the vessel's large pillars. The crew was understandably terrified, barely surviving the hit, but as they finally get the ship leveled out and think they're out of the woods, one crew member starts aggressively boasting. He actually says, "I have saved ships from much bigger seas. This North Sea is nothing to me." The rest of the crew are practically begging the guy to be quiet, reminding him they literally just narrowly escaped death, but he just keeps bragging about how he can conquer the water. Well, the sea answers back immediately. Before the guy could even finish his sentence, this deafening sound echoes through the pitch-black night. An enormous wave violently rocks the ship with unimaginable force. The vessel tilts so severely that crew members, including our boastful fishermen, were instantly launched from the deck right into the freezing water, swallowed by the sea in the blink of an eye, never to be found again. Section 5. The Economic Lifeline. Hearing all these nightmare stories, it naturally begs the obvious question, right? With all this death, destruction, and unpredictable danger, why don't governments just close this route down? I mean, tourists who experience bad weather out there frequently write letters petitioning to ban maritime traffic entirely. But closing the North Sea, it's an absolute impossibility. A staggering 65% of the region's entire trade absolutely depends on navigating this specific body of water. If governments were to actually shut it down, the economies of all those bordering nations would face an immediate catastrophic collapse. And it's not just passing cargo ships we're talking about here. The North Sea is packed with vast marine life, which is a massive pillar for the global fishing industry. Plus, right beneath that deadly 100-foot trap, massive offshore oil and gas reserves. Today, the horizon out there is getting completely crowded with expanding offshore wind farms to power modern Europe. It's actually kind of fascinating when you think about it. This exact same stretch of water was once the historic highway of the Vikings, who literally worshipped this sea as a deity. Today, we don't worship it. We pack it with rigs and turbines because its natural resources are just way too valuable to abandon. Which all leaves us with a pretty critical question to ponder. In our relentless drive to extract resources, will human civilization ultimately pay the price to an untamed nature? We are constantly pushing the limits, building more infrastructure,